Assalamualaikum.
Waalaikumsalam.
Kabar Ibu Dokter?
Iya, maaf.
Kabar Ibu?
Baik, Bapak.
Ya.
Ini tolong dibuka. Tolong dibuka. Oh, maaf.
Tak apa. Biasa.
Iya. Apa kabar Pak Nik?
Baik Ibu, baik. Ibu Dokter Dira, saya panggil Ibu Dokter Dira. Boleh ya?
Christine, Pak.
Oh, okey, baik. Saya tengok ni ada 3 nama ni. Kapten Dr. Dira Christine Sri Marnani.
Ya, betul saya itu.
Mana satu bisa saya salute ini? Dr. Christine ya?
Ya, siap.
Oh, baik Ibu, baik.
Ya, Pak.
Ya.
Alhamdulillah. Bentar Pak, ini kami menunggu waktu 1 menit persiapan.
Baik. Siap, Nuri. Kita prepare.
Siap.
Yes.
Iya, boleh.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good afternoon, best wishes for all of us. Om Swastiastu, Namo Buddhaya. Let us praise the Almighty God for His blessing we are able to conduct overseas study program of Defense Management Faculty 2021 with themes Management of National Research for Defense and Security. Thank you for our participants to attend this session today. Now we will begin session 2. The Honorable Dean of Defense Management Faculty of the Republic of Indonesia Defense University, Rear Admiral Dr. Kasih Prihantoro, SAMMM Terhan, Dean of Defense Studies and Management Faculty of National Defense University of Malaysia, Lieutenant Colonel Profesor Madya Arifin bin Ismail, Vice Dean of Defense Management, Faculty of the Republic of Indonesia Defense University, Air Force Marshal Anton Iman Santosa, Speaker and Moderator from National Defense University of Malaysia of the Republic of Indonesia Defense University, Lecturers and staff of Defense Management Faculty of the Republic of Indonesia Defense University, and all students of Defense Management Faculty of the Republic of Indonesia Defense University and Defense Studies and Management Faculty National Defense University of Malaysia. The honorable participants, the next agenda is presentation of Human Resource Management for Defense Practice, which will be guided by the moderator, Captain Navy Retired Dr. Christine Sri Marnani, MAP, to the moderator. The screen in yours. Before starting the session, we are going to read the curriculum vitae of the moderator. Name is Captain Navy Retired Dr. Christine Sri Marnani, MAP. Live in Bogor, Jawa Barat. General Education, 1985, Bachelor in Language Education and Art, majoring Indonesian Language, Institute of Teacher Training and Science Education in DKI Jakarta. 2011, Master in Public Administration, Faculty of Political and Social Science, Hang Tuah University, Surabaya. 2019, Doctor in International Relations, Faculty of Political and Social Science, Pajajaran University, Bandung. Military Education, 1987, Military Conscription, Lembang. 1993, Advisor Transition Education, Surabaya. 1999, Functional Officer Education, Surabaya. 2006, Naval Staff and Command School, Jakarta. As 15 General Education and Courses. Overseas Education and Courses is 1991, Instructional System Designer, EISD, Texas USD, and Technical Training Instructional Courses, TTIC, Texas USA. 2004, Basic American Language Courses, BALIC, Texas. 2011, Advanced Security Course, AEC 12, Asia Pacific for Security Studies, Hawaii. 2013, Managing Defense in the Wider Security Context Courses, Cornell University, United Kingdom. 2018, Strategic Leader International Courses, John Stanning Space Center, USA. 2021, Economic and Security Module DKI, Asia Pacific Security Studies, Hawaii, USA. Have a experience. The last experience is lecturing defense science, philosophy, civic education for bachelor degree students. Indonesia Defense University and lecturing domestic and international politics for master degree student, Indonesia Defense University. Position, current position as lecturers in disaster management study program, Indonesia Defense University, and lecturers in Indonesia State College of Accountancy, Jakarta, and has a research project, the last research project in 2020, disaster educational model through Desa Wisma, Kabupaten Lebak, Banten. The next agenda will be led by the moderator.
Thank you very much for MC for introducing me. Okay, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Shalom, Om Swastiastu, Namo Buddhaya, good afternoon from Jakarta. Honorable Dean of Defense Management Faculty, Universitas Pertahanan Nasional Malaysia, UNTM, Lieutenant Colonel Professor Madya Arifin bin Ismail, Dean of Defense Management Faculty, Universitas Pertahanan, Unhan RI, Rear Admiral Dr. Kasih Prihantono SI MTR, and Vice Dean of Faculty of Defense Management, Universitas Pertahanan, Air Force Marshal Anton Imam Santosa, distinguished speakers, Lieutenant Commander Nick Ismail Rashid bin C. Ali, lecturers, colleagues, students from UPNM and Unhan. Welcome back to the second session of the discussion today. The mechanism for our discussion this afternoon will be held as follows. Presentation from Lieutenant Commander Nick. You may have 50 minutes presentation.
Minutes, huh? All right.
Yeah. You have more? You want more?
It's okay. Up to the floor. I just follow the itinerary.
Okay.
Okay, Ibu, no problem.
Okay, so we are flexible.
Yes,
Thank you.
Yes.
Okay, then we'll be follow with the question and answer around 40 or 50 minutes, then summary, then closing.
Yes,
So actually for question and answer, we have two sessions. The first session, it will be 4 questions from students from UPNM. You may have, and then 3 questions from Indonesia Defense University students. Its program. So please mention your name and your study program before asking, and you may write your question on the chat box below. And for the second session will be free for our participants. Okay, during the lecture, for those who has question, please send it to the chat box below. Ladies and gentlemen, as I mentioned before, this afternoon we are going to continue our morning discussion with the topic, the practice of human resources management for defense, delivered by Lieutenant Commander Nick Ismail Rashid bin J. Ali. Let me invite Lieutenant Commander Nick Ismail Rashid to the forum. Selamat datang Pak Rashid, welcome to the seminar. Prior to the presentation, let me introduce Lieutenant Commander Nick Ismail Rashid bin J. Ali. Nick Ismail Rashid bin J. Ali is a senior lecturer of Logistic Management and Administration at the Faculty of Defense Studies and Management. He graduated with bachelor degree sport science in sport philosophy from University of Malaya, Kuala Lumpur, and master degree of sport management from University of Technology, Mara, Shah Alam, Malaysia. He also lectures the undergraduate and postgraduate student in his specific areas of logistic management and administration, also supervises undergraduates and postgraduate students. Academically, he has published journal academic modules as well as presented academic papers in conference and seminar, locally and internationally. He was also appointed as the Malaysia Karate Team Manager, SEA Games 2017. Wow, when Malaysia hosted that Southeast Asia region. On the other, he also appointed as co-editor for academic journals, assessor for journal articles and manuscript, as guest lectures, invited speakers, subject matter experts, numerous articles and writing in academic and professional research and academic courses in other public and private universities and institutions. In summary, he was a sports sciences practitioner and had 3 disciplines field also vast experiences after served the Royal Malaysian Navy for 10 years and 5 years as a director of National Defense University of Malaysia Sports Center before he joined as an academician year 2014 until present, recognized as a governance researcher, sport manager, logistician, and administrator. Wow, sir. Thank you. So now let's go down to the business. Lieutenant Commander Rashid, sorry. You have 50 minutes to speak. I will remind you 5 minutes before your time is over. Okay, you may have the floor, sir.
Thank you, Ibu Dr. Christine. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Your Honorable Rear Admiral Dr. Kasih Prihantoro, SEMM M. Terhan, Dean of Defense Management Faculty, the Republic of Indonesian Defense University. My respective Dean of Defense Studies and Management Faculty, Lieutenant Colonel Associate Professor Arifin bin Ismail, National Defense University of Malaysia. Madam Moderator, this second session of the second day, Captain Dr. Dira Christine Sri Marnani, MAP. The coordinator of UPNM, Dr. Nur Hazlina Fairuz binti Musakuti, all the lecturers from University, from Republic Indonesia Defense University, all lecturers from Defense Studies and Management Faculty, National Defense University of Malaysia, all students and my peers. Assalamualaikum and very good evening for all of you dan selamat siang. Thanking for National Defense University Malaysia giving me the chances to give my sharing knowledge how to apply the human resource management in application practice for our daily, routine, I believe weekly, monthly, and yearly, and the rest of our life. I may share my presentation today. Maybe I go on 30% theory and 70% application. I believe this morning the HRM Defense in Concept lectured by my good friend, Major General Dr. Nixon, which my peers at the faculty, we are the same department. Okay. He already talked lengthy about position armed forces, the HRM on concept on the COVID. Okay. I believe the main player on the earth are human. which the X factors that enable or disable this world, which make the world more merrier and hectic, are done by human. I believe when our God Almighty, Allah Subhanahu wa Taala, sent Adam and Eve to the earth, the human resource management basics already been applied by our Allah Almighty. Already been applied, which the Almighty creates the best human to born on this earth for them to survive, I believe. Now we shall see to the slides. I share screen, Dr. Christine?
Not yet, sir.
Okay. Okay. Can you see my...
On the way.
slide?
Okay, I can. Yes, sure. I can see.
All right, thank you.
Still not slide by slide. Yeah, I think you have to change to slide.
Okay, the first slide, the topics, as we shared, human resource management for defense practical session. Second day, second session, management of national resources. Okay. All right. What is human resource management? Let's start with a brief definition. Human resource management, or HRM, is the practice of managing people to achieve better performance. For example, if you hire people into an industry, you are looking for people who fit the department culture, as they will be happier, stay longer, and be more productive than people who won't fit into the department's culture. Another example is engagement. Engaged employees are more productive, deliver higher quality. Okay, this example I quote in one of the reference in the previous research. But if for better still, I can share. I believe in all organization, for example, even Dr. Christine, you yourself, Ibu ya, when somebody want to join armed forces, whether to join TNI, AD, ataupun join my Royal Malaysian Navy, we will choose the best people, the best staff, right, to join
Sure.
our armed forces.
Yes, sir.
Yes. And then for your information also, I always follow your Bapak Kasat, General Andika Perkasa. He one of my mentor lah. I love to see him when he berbicara, Ibu ya.
Okay.
Very very smart and very tough guys, General Andika Perkasa. And then yes, he also one of the candidate going to replace your, if Malaysia we call it Parlimen Angkatan Tentera, Dr. Christine ya. Yeah.
Panglima TNI.
Yeah.
Panglima TNI.
Betul, ME, yeah, yes. Okay. Okay, next. The Human Resource Department provides the knowledge, tools, training, legal advice, administration, and talent management, which is crucial to sustain and advance an organization. I believe on Human Resource Department, we who attach there will give the best to make sure the organization runs smoothly. This is what human resource management boils down to: optimize company performance through better management of human resources. The next question is, who are these human resources? What is a human resource? Just to share, maybe some of the student or the lecturer know, but just to recap, it's part of the learning. It may feel a bit weird to refer to people as human resource. Human resource are all the people that in one capacity or another work for or contribute to an organization. These people make up the company workforce. They can be regular employees, for example, but also contractors, especially. With the rise of the gig economy, more and more people are starting to work for an organization on a contract basis without having a traditional labor contract. These people include independent contractors, workers provided by contract firms or call workers, and temporary help agency workers. And independent staff can be under contract for years at the same at the same organization, while an agency staff can work at 20 different companies throughout 1 year, because it's up to them whether they like, they will stay, they dislike, they will jump. They are all involved in the company to a different extent. The way they are managed and involved in the organization should also be different. Also, there are increasingly non-humans at work at the company. Okay, before I move further, that's what I refer to the statement just now. And independent staff can be under contract for years. I'll take in the armed forces itself. We in the Malaysian Armed Forces, for the other rank, they can serve 13 years, 15 years, 18 years, and now go for 22 years. I believe di sana pun sama juga ibu ya, di TNI.
Yeah,
Yeah.
similar.
We give our people, our staff, other rank, whether they can serve until 13 years. If they're happy, they can prolong. Okay. In this case, another example, we are talking about the increase in robotization. Robots are increasingly involved in day-to-day work, and the interaction between man and machine is becoming increasingly essential to the success of the organization. Although these machines are not considered human resource, there is a case to be made that they should be included in some way as they are part of the workforce. Yeah, I believe nowadays we, I think the whole armed forces in the world rely on the robotization. Yeah, Dr. Christine. Yeah,
Yes.
that's why Japan at last they surrender World War II because of the little boy and fat man.
What is that?
Oh, you're not sure, Dr. Christine? I believe the fat man is the atomic bomb who explode the Nagasaki,
Okay.
the atomic bomb name. And the little boy is atomic bomb who explode Hiroshima.
Oh, okay.
Maybe they're call sign. They're call sign. Sorry,
They call sign. Okay.
call sign. The fat man and the
I
fat
thought
man.
it's real.
Pardon?
I thought it's real.
Yeah, it's yeah, it's
Just,
here.
just
Yeah,
the
even
call sign.
call sign. Even I read one of the articles in my I taught also defense technology in my university on the bomb, on the grenades. US call these two bomb atom fat man and little boy. Because of these two aliens, the emperor Hirohito, Japan emperor that time, surrender, right? And I believe US did revenge for their loss on the Pearl Harbor,
Yes.
6 December 1942, I believe, on Sunday morning. You know, right, Dr. Christine?
Yes, I was there.
When the Japs attacked Pearl Harbor, sharp at 0759 hotel, for sure all the Navy will be sent east to respect the colors, right? I think I've been watching this movie with my student because I also taught the subject military history, and when it comes to the ethics, you need to win the war, you need to cheat the ethics, but that's life.
Okay.
All right, Dr. Christine. You don't mind, right, Ibu? I relate with the current history, the example, right? Otherwise, our class will be boring. I prefer that way.
Thank you.
I prefer that way. That I believe when I talk to my student or I talk to the floor,
It's a hard time now.
because and the late evening. Actually, for your information, I walk in just now 1400 hotel Malaysia time. I thought 1400 hotel be ready. I overlooked. It's okay, never mind. We used to be over punctual. It's better be over punctual than not punctual. Ibu laugh. Okay, I go back to the basics of life, 7 human resource basics. When we talk about human resource management, several elements are considered cornerstone for effective HRM policies. These cornerstones are recruitment and selection, performance management, learning development, succession planning, compensation and benefits, human resources information system, human resource data and analytics. I didn't put or hyperlink, but I may discuss this at the curve between the slides. Okay,
It's okay.
I just recap back. What is about recruitment and selection? Recruitment and selection. Recruitment and selection are arguably the most visible elements of human resource. We all remember our first interview, right? I remember when my first joined armed forces. Actually, I joined my Royal Malaysian Navy as a graduate officer candidate. I finished my study in 1999 and joined the armed forces. Went for the selection on the human resource. We did on a physical training. We had to sit the aptitude test, attitude test, and for the medical screening, then only you'll be called up to the armed forces, because I believe uh, from civilian to the military people is a transformation process, and
Absolutely.
a transformation process. Okay. Recruiting candidates and selecting the best one to come and work for the company is a key of human resource responsibility. I believe between TNI and Angkatan Tentera Malaysia (ATM), we've been practice the best candidate for the best services. Yes. Performance and management. I believe in the armed forces itself, also to the corporate sector or university, industry, performance management are very vital. I believe as a lecturers, we need to produce journal articles, must have students to supervise, and then for sure our teaching hours is the most important. And in the armed forces, our ROI is how do we measure the stability of the peaceful. That is our performance management. I believe between TNI and ATM, we've been working for so long. I believe one of them is exercise of Malindo Darsasa, yeah, Dr. Christine, yeah. And I think that's the most. It's a yearly event between two countries. Yeah, performance management. Next is learning and development. Learning and development, people are the product of life experience, the country and era they grow up in a range of cultural influences. Within learning and development, ensure that employees adapt to change in processes, technology, and societal or legal shift. Learning and development helps staff to reskill and upskill. I believe in Malaysia, in our soft skill, one of the 9 soft skill we been precisely practice is long life learning. And long life learning. That's why I myself from the civilian, I joined as a graduate intake. As time goes by, I believe because of the I'm joining armed forces, what I had now. Then now I sharing my knowledge to the student of my UPNM student on the cadet wings and civilian wings. Okay. Many organizations have predefined budgets for learning and development. This budget is then distributed amongst staff with trainees, future leaders, and other high potential, often receiving more training opportunities than others. I believe when I read your CV, Dr. Christine, or your very vast experience, Ibu.
No,
Uh,
that's
this
regular.
yeah, this is what we call it You are diamond among the diamond. That's why you are there to train the future perwira TNI. InsyaAllah ya, Ibu ya. With a,
Kalau
with a noble heart. Okay. Okay, next, human resource basics, succession planning. I believe succession planning, whether you like or dislike, each organization must have the plan. Succession planning is the process of planning contingencies in case of key staff leaving the company, or the worst case, the key staff may early pass away because of the pandemic or maybe because of accident. We wouldn't know, right? If, for example, a crucial senior manager or a senior rank, for example, rank as the lieutenant colonel or colonel, pass away, having a replacement ready will guarantee continuity and can save the organization significant money. I believe on each, how to say, human capital to produce a fighter pilot, pesawat pejuang Dr. Christine, cost one person, I think, in Malaysia equivalent more than 600,000, 600,000 Dr. Christine, yeah, I believe. I think same
yeah,
to the Perkhidmatan TNI Askar Udara, right?
saudara ya.
Yeah, all talks about money and cents, dollar and cents. That's what I believe in Malaysia said, or I think we can share. No money, no talk. Yeah, Dr. Christine. Yeah, no money, no talk. I believe in we can work feasibilillah, but that is only part of our principle, right? Okay, succession planning. Okay, okay. Succession planning is often based on performance, ratings, and learning and development effort. This result in the creation of a talent pipeline. This is a pool of candidates who are qualified and ready to fill senior position. I believe succession planning normally it consists of the think tanker. Uh, each think tanker will check the good or bad of the succession planning. Okay, next elements, composition and benefits. Another one of the human resource basics is compensation and benefits. Fair compensation is key in motivating and retaining employees. One of the fundamental of HRM concerning pay is ensuring equity and fairness, right? Equity and fairness. Making the right offer of pay is a key part of attracting the best talent. This must be balanced with the budget and profit margins of the organization. Human resource should monitor pay increases and set standards of merit. Human resource may also carry out a pay audit on official. Compensation comprises primary compensation and secondary compensation. Primary compensation involves directly paid money for work, which often is a monthly salary and sometimes performance-based pay. Secondary benefits are all non-monetary rewards. These can include extra holidays, flexible working times, daycare, pensions, and especially when the staff enjoy your organization, the secondary benefits will go on the primary compensation. When the interest and the willingness, it will uh, cross bow everything. Okay, the next is human resources information system. The last two HR basics are not HR practices but tools to do human resource better. I believe in my armed forces selection training center currently in Malaysia, as what the morning speaker said, Dato' Nixon, we are having pandemics event now. For those who wish to join armed forces, I took my Royal Malaysian Navy. We selected through the online selection, which they need to fill a certain system with QR code, and we will select them. This relate to the human resource information system. For performance management, a performance management system is used to keep track of individual goals and put in performance rating. In learning and development, a learning management system is used for the distribution of content internally, and other human resource systems are used to keep track of budgets and training approval. Right. I believe nowadays, when it comes to the selection, budgetary, all it related close to the all software and the hardware is a part of, as what I said in my previous slide, robotization. And last, 7 human resource basics, human resource data and analytics. The last of the HR fundamental revolve around data and analytics. In the last half decade, HR has made a major leap towards becoming more data-driven. The human resource information system we just discussed is essentially a data entry system. The data in the system can be used to make better and more informed decisions. An easy way to keep track of critical data is through human resource metric or human resource KPIs. These are specific measurements that answer how a company or organization is doing on a given measurement. This is referred to as HR reporting. This reporting focuses on the current and past state of the organization. Using human resource analytics, human resource can also make prediction. Example, include workforce needs, employee turnover intention, the impact of the recruitment candidate, experience on customer satisfaction, and many others. Okay. Okay, I already briefed the 7 basic human resource management. We know Now we know the 7 human resource management basic. None of these human resource fundamental are isolated. They all interact and affect each other. Think of these 7 basics as building blocks. Strong management of each fundamental element contributes to the strength of the next collectively. These HR fundamentals enable a workforce not only to perform better, but to perform at its very best. Okay, now I go on my application. So I said just now, military operation other than war, MOTWA, or soldering peacetime duty. Before I joined the university, my commander and my chief of navy always share what is our navy job during non-war zone. I prefer the terms in my head. I always share with my student, soldering peacetime duty. But when we refer to the world's reference, it refer on military operations other than war or MOTWA. Those is the element. Military aid to civil authorities, humanitarian assistance and disaster relief, arms control, combating terrorism, support to counter drug operation, enforcement of sanctioned maritime intercept operation, enforcing exclusion zones, ensuring freedom of navigation and overflight, nation assistance support to counter insurgency, support to insurgency, non-combatant evacuation operation, peace operation, protection of shipping, show of force operation, and just to share my vast experience when I joined the Navy. When it comes to the big ceremonial, Dr. Christine, for example, I remember when Malaysia hosts Commonwealth Games 1998, I think 90% of the main committee came from the Malaysia Armed Forces. That time I was a student, my undergraduates in University Malaya, 1999. And also that time our country is having the conflict between previous former Deputy Prime Minister and former Prime Minister. When it comes to this, I like to refer to the history. Because I believe history never lie. Yeah, Dr. Christie, yeah? People can lie, but Dr. a doctor, but the history cannot lie. Commonwealth Games 1998, Fast Speed Games, oh sorry, spelling error, Fast Speed Games, Far East South Pacific Asian Games. SEA Games 2001, Malaysia was host, and the last one, 2017, the Malaysian Armed Forces playing the very vital factors on backup on the logistic itself. Why I say that? On the opening ceremony, they will use all the government assets to make sure these Commonwealth Games, Fast Speed Games, Southeast Asian Games 2001, and Southeast Asian Games 2017. Even I went to Jakarta Asian Game 2018. That time Indonesia host the sport game, the games, Asian game, where there's two location, if I don't forget, Palembang and Jakarta. So I assist my teams in karate. So karate play in Jakarta. I believe I saw all the uniform bodies is the X factor, which make sure the operation of the Asian Games Jakarta 2018 went smooth. Okay, next slide. Those are spectrum of conflict, continuum of war to stability to peace. War, for sure, nuclear war, conventional war, strike, raids. Crisis, combating terrorism, counter-insurgency operation, military support to civilian authority. That's what Datuk Nixon shared in his lecture this morning. Malaysian Armed Forces playing the vital factor when backup the police enforcement and also our Ministry of Health. Non-combatant evacuation, recovery, peace enforcement. As you know, we are very active in United Nations peacekeeping, especially at the West Asian continental, Lebanon. Humanitarian assistance and disaster relief. Okay, on the stability, we go on stability, security, transition and rebuild, peacekeeping of weapon smuggling, human trafficking, and anti-drugs. This is just to share our at the Southeast Asian area that Malaysian Armed Forces cover, and we used to cover until the Andaman Sea. All right. Range of military operation, combat, non-combatant, war, general US goal, fight and win. Perhaps example, large-scale combat operation, attack, defend, and blockade. I think everyone know, United States, they went to the Vietnam and they came back and they lost. Same to the Russian. They went to the Afghanistan and yet they lost. Okay. Military operation other than war, deter war, decline war, and resolve conflict, peace enforcement, counter-terrorism, show of force, raid strike, peacekeeping, NEO, wait, I forgot the terms. Non-combatant evacuation operation. Non-combatant evacuation operation. Nation assistance, counter-insurgency. And then next is promote peace and support U.S. civil authorities, freedom of navigation, counter-drug, humanitarian assistance, protection of shipping, and U.S. civil support. There is a continuing need for continual military capability in the foreseeable future, but mission with which the use of minimal force are expected to grow in importance. Proficiency in Motua requires a much greater and somewhat different set of skill sets than traditional war fighting. In this context, many armed forces are developing new training programs for small unit leaders. These men will need to be ready to become peacekeepers, goodwill ambassadors, and winners of hearts and minds, as well as war fighters. The process of educating and preparing a professional force capable of handling a wide spectrum of operation under MOTOA requires a new strategy. For example, in Malaysia, before our servicemen selected to go for peacekeeping, they will need to go special training, less than 8 months. The peacekeeping training center is located in Port Dickson, Negeri Sembilan. I believe that is the best one of the United Nations peacekeeping models. Characteristic character of MOTOA. MOTOA is applied to complement any combination of the other instrument of national power. MOTOA driven by political objective at every level, from strategic to tactical. All military personnel should understand the political objective and the potential impact of inappropriate action. Commanders should remain aware of changes not only in the operational situation, but also to change in political objective that may warrant a change in military operation. MOTOA contributes to attainment of national security objective by supporting deterrence, forward presence, and crisis response option. MOTOA contribution to the attainment of national security objective. Deterrence. Potential aggressor is reluctant to act for fear of failure, cause or consequences. Forward presence demonstrate commitment, lends credibility to alliance, and enhance regional stability. This is what one of our UN mission in Lebanon, where there we trying to be a middleman in every time of they having a civil war. And I believe Lebanon now having a difficulty factor, which I think I read last month articles. They're having a crisis on this their uh, money crisis, Dr. Christine, if I'm not mistaken. Lebanon, they're having monetary problems where their power of buying of people becoming low. And I heard also one of my friend told me who came back from peacekeeping UN mission in Lebanon, they're having a bad time, the Lebanon people. Hopefully our people, Indonesia and Malaysia won't have that kind of, how to say, disaster. We call it disaster. Crisis response. Responding rapidly with appropriate motor option to potential or actual crisis. Principle of military operation other than war. Objective, again, we direct every military operation toward a clearly defined, decisive, and attainable objective. Unity of effort. Seek unity of effort in every operation. Don't create problems with the local people. That's why when we go for peacekeeping, first we need to learn, and I read one of the articles, uh, you need to know the organizational culture of that place. That's why American lost their Vietnam War, because they fail and they underestimate the people of Vietnam. They thought the southern Vietnam support them, but in the other way. But the southern Vietnam, they compromise with the northern Vietnam, right? Because I believe Vietnam, their colonial is France. US try to be a hero, but actually for me, US play a X factor. we must thankful to US. If not because of US, the communists will be expedite faster than what they're having now. That's from my readings. Okay, next, unity of effort. Seek unity of effort in every operation. That's what I said. They need to seek unity. They cannot went for peacekeeping to be double-sided or parasites to the community. Security. Never permit hostile faction to acquire a military, political, or informational advantage. Restrain. Apply appropriate military capability prudently. Follow the rules. Don't jump the rules. Everything must go on SOP, standard of procedure, to avoid any unawareness circumstances. Perseverance. Prepare for the measured, protracted application of military capability in support of strategic aims. Legitimacy. Committed forces must sustain the legitimacy of the operation and of the host government where applicable. That means we still need to respect the local rules, and that's why it's happened. I can take one of the example when Black Hawk Down in Somalia. Again, Malaysia Armed Forces saved the US convoy because this Somalia's terrorists always got confused between the Malaysia flag and the United States of America flags. We have the same stripes, but we don't have the many stars. We only got one stars and the moon and the quarter moon. Okay, but and yet that's the history that shows that Malaysia Armed Forces is one of the being respective lah. Okay. Those picture I shared on our soldering peacetime duty roles. This I believe happened at the Lahad Dato ISKOM in Sabah. This is our humanitarian aids. When come to deliver emergency evacuation, armed forces is the best. Armed forces is the best. I believe when Aceh, northern Sumatra, hit by tsunami, I think the whole people in the country try to help government of Aceh, and right, the best is armed forces, because armed forces we have direct access. This my chopper Nuri and my one of our supply ship. Okay. Okay. Next, need for there is example. Yeah, that's like okay. Need for military forces. There will be occasion when it will be appropriate to deploy military assets to assist in humanitarian aid and disaster relief (HDR) effort, either on a national basis or as part of an international effort. Like I said just now, Aceh, Indonesia, tsunami December. I remember the disaster came on 26 or 27 December 2004, because it's a 1 day or 2 days after the Christmas. East Timor, January 2006, our KD Indasakti and our police force be as a peacekeeper there. Our Bukit Antarabangsa Selangor, Highland Towers, one of our three main high-rise condominium drops because of the landslide. Haiti incident 2010, Al-Had Datu incident, as what I said in my previous slide. MH370 2014, until now disappeared. Only God knows. Human trafficking Rohingya, I believe government of Indonesia and government of Malaysia having the same problems in overcome this Rohingya who they ran away from their Rahikan, their Myanmar country. Forces involved in soldering peacetime duty or MOTUA are regular armed forces, as when I joined my Navy service last time, and also involved on the reservists. We have our Army, Navy, and Air Force. And this is elements that we assist: linguistic, medical, engineers, airport, air traffic, port facilities, local securities. As you know, with the current pandemic, COVID-19 been attacking Malaysia. I think armed forces with the we call it health core, or in Malay we call it core kesihatan diraja, been full force to lay out, we call it hospital medan. I believe this one is to pick up the uh, shortage of ICU bed by our uh, civilian health ministry. Yeah, I believe one in Kepala Batas, one in my KL area, and another one they already developed in Labuan, Labuan Island, near the Kalimantan Island, Labuan Island. This is the forces involved in MOTWA, Southern Peacetime Duty. Okay, international disaster management and relief work. Join with other militaries, multinationality, interoperability required, proper equipment, appropriate training, good working knowledge for English. I believe in the Navy itself, even I believe in the TNI, AD, AL, or AU, when we go for overseas training, the main language is English. For example, when you go to the India Straits, the best command is in English. Multinational operation consideration, political, language barriers, cultural issues, military capabilities, equipment interoperability, logistic support coordination, legal issues, ROE, rules of engagement. This is the consideration that when we these 7 elements need to be considered. Political. Political is very important when one nation that permit our armed forces to go in, normally the prime minister of the country will say hello. For example, Malaysia prime minister will say hello to the president of Indonesia, Bapak Jokowi, and then only the Parlimen Angkatan Tentera or the Menteri Pertahanan can talk with their counterparts. Language barriers. When something happened in the Southeast Asian, we have no problem, right? I believe one of the best example when KRI submarines casualty, I believe our support ship from Sabah, Bima Sakti, all the way sail to the area, Sing area, to assist the operational. Language barriers, no problem. Between us, we can speak Malay, and we believe Malaysia and Indonesia is satu rumpun. Satu rumpun. Cultural issues, I believe no problem again between Malaysia and Indonesia. And even before this, we were the same history. Military capabilities, very important to check and balance military capabilities between the two countries. That's why we're having exercise like Malindo Dasasa, like Gapma. And then logistic support coordination, like I take example on the Kalimantan border between Pontianak and up there, we're having two very close border patrol center, especially during this COVID uh, scenario. And then for sure, legal issues, everything is on rules of engagement, refugees, medical support, psychology operation, and etc. Conclusion. MOTOA encompass the use of military capabilities across the range of operation, except of war. MOTOA focus on deterring war, resolving conflict, promoting peace, and supporting civil authorities in response to crisis. Non-combat MOTOA often can be a simultaneous operation with combat MOTOA. If at first there is a war, a combat commander's campaign plan should include a transition from wartime operation to MOTOA, like in Iraq. I believe that's all my slide, Dr. Christine, for today. Ibu? And then, yes, thank you. End of my session.
Sorry, thank you very much. So my mic is off. Sorry.
Yeah,
Thank you
yeah.
very much for the presentation. Big
Yes,
applause
Dr.
for the speaker.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you. That was outstanding presentation. Even this is hard time for all of you, I think, because the time is usually after lunch is not good for having a lecture. But
Yeah,
it's okay because
yes, yes,
can give us some jokes, so it's
yes.
okay. Thank you very much.
Yeah,
Now we are heading to the
question.
question and answer. Yeah.
Q&A, yes, yes, yes. I will come
Okay.
from the floor.
Okay. Yes. Let's see from the chat box below. Actually, I'm going to give some. I'm going to give chance also for not only for Indonesian student but also for Malaysian student.
Yeah, yeah.
The NU Malaysia maybe you have, but if you still maybe not finished yet.
We can get from your floor first, Ibu, Dr. Christine. They're from Mr.
Okay.
Mulyani. Mr.
Okay.
Mulyani from Defense Economy Program.
Okay. Okay. Let me
Yes, I
scroll
am.
first. Wait, please.
Yeah.
Okay. From Ulfia, ya? Mulyani.
Yeah, yes, I am.
Is that you? Okay,
Yeah.
you from, okay. I just wanna mention your name and then you may read by yourself, please.
Okay. Good afternoon for everybody. Thank you, moderator, for the time. I am Mulyani from Defense Economic Program. I would like to ask about migrant workers. We know if Malaysia is favorite destination worker from Indonesia.
Yes.
At 2019, around 67,000 Indonesian out there.
Yeah.
And then after Malaysia, have Taiwan, Hong Kong, Singapore at 36. My question,
yes, sir.
What is your opinion about them, about Indonesian migrant in Malaysia, according to defense perspective?
Defense perspective.
Yes, right.
Okay.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Colonel Mulyani. Right. From different perspective, the the flood of Indonesian migrants to my country. Actually, we are having a difficulty to control, and yet as satu rumpun, we try to be nice. That's why when you see my government for the when come to the having the campaign, go back to the home country, they offer remittance. Yeah, Bapak Melani, yeah, and they offered remittance. By right, from defense perspective, is unhealthy. But maybe as what I said in my previous talk just now, yeah, we are, because of the political language similarity, cultural issues, and military capabilities. We, as a defense practitioner, when I served in the Navy last time, we always had a call from on midnight lah, Bapak Muleni, ya. Yeah. When we seek or we consider bump into your bash or tongkang, right? We will use our human value lah, Bapak, ya. And not to say to charge them, we ask them to turn back. Different perspective. It sounds like very funny, but because of the political factors, we need. I mean, yeah, we also have our top panglima to be answered. Normally, we will hold them at the ZEE Straits, right? I believe I always when I duty on door and I'm in the service near part of the Tawau there. I think Batu Anarang. That is our favorite sea patrol, right? Bapak, ya, Batu Anarang, right? Down Tawau there. You familiar? You familiar with the place? Always we having border patrol issues. But I believe with the spirit of Malaysia and Indonesia, we just surround there with peaceful. That I can say lah. I mean, no fighting. Just maybe. I remember one of the incidents. One of my senior, lucky the CEO of the ship is his classmate when did his sesqual. That's a beauty when you went for staff college or exchange student, right? At the senior rank, because of the collateral we used to serve to study together, the conflict just resolved like that. With the good spirit of satu rumpun. Yes, and that's my point of view lah. Since I joined the academics, yes, but and yet we still had the experience when we served on board ship last time.
Thank you,
Yes,
sir.
Bapak. Yeah, thank you.
Yes, sir.
Terima kasih.
Oke, terima kasih Pak Nik.
Yes.
Ismail.
Yeah, Ibu.
Sudah terjawab ya Pak Mulyani?
Yeah.
Okay. Now let's go to the next question from Budiawan. Budiawan from economy.
Human resource.
Sorry, energy security.
Human resource.
Good afternoon, Mr. Nik Ismail Rashid.
Yes, Mr. Budi. Yes, Bapak.
Thanks, moderator, for your time.
Yes.
Before I ask some question, I will to compare some social condition between Malaysia and Indonesia. Today, Indonesia have a lower income per capita than Malaysia. I know. And then in unemployment level, Indonesia higher unemployment level than Malaysia. According this information, become a soldier in Indonesia is become an ambitious or dream of a young man from especially from rural area.
Yeah. I following your bulletin, Eddie.
Yes. If I want to know in Malaysia, how big interest of Malaysian citizen to become a military soldier? Because Indonesia become a military soldier is one ambitious from some person in rural area. Maybe in Malaysia is different condition.
Yeah.
That is first question. And second question, according Malaysian white paper atau kertas putih,
Oh,
there's mention a volunteer force. Can you tell me more about volunteer force mean? Because in Indonesia has a volunteer force called Komcat, komponen cadangan. Maybe different with Malaysia. So we want to know more about volunteer force, about the role, recruitment, deployment, and etc. To strengthen the Malaysian defense. Maybe you can tell me more about maybe but how big budget to make a troop from volunteer force or everything about volunteer force. Maybe and that my question. Yes, sir.
You
Thank
have
you.
3 questions, right?
okay, thank you,
Yes.
Mr. Budi, Bapak ya. Okay, on your first question, many of the youngsters, orang muda, like very adamant to join perkhidmatan TNI, AD. And I believe in Malaysia also, we still having full application on joining the armed forces, whether on service ground, seas, or on the air, which refer to Army, Navy, or Air Force. Why I say that, I have my justification. For every intake on joining the Navy, for example, we only can recruit for every session maybe 400 or 300 youngsters, uh, men and women, to join on each intake. Even the application to join is more than 1,000. You see, Bapak Budi, so I believe the spirit is there, right? Joining armed forces uh, is good for us because we don't have problems to get a best selection. Why? When we ask them, why you like to join the armed forces? I'm very interested, sir. I'm very interested, sir. When come to very interested, that means any difficulty or harness, they just can swallow and swipe on. Okay, what yeah?
Okay,
All
sir.
right, all right. Okay, answer your first question. On the second question, how much
Budget.
budget is prepared by the Malaysian government in preparing the
Volunteer
volunteer
force.
force? Oh, uh, in Malaysia we call it Territorial Army or Askar Wataniah. Askar Wataniah, Territorial Army. In the English call it Territorial Army, the Malay call Askar Wataniah, which consists of 3 services, which Pasukan Simpanan Tentera Darat, Pasukan Simpanan Sukarelawan TLDM, PSS TLDM, Pasukan Simpanan Sukarelawan TUDM. How much the budget is prepared, I can tell you, because I believe the cost of preparing a single serviceman, Bapak Budi, I think from the day they take oath, angkat sumpah, until lah dia pakai pangkat private ataupun lance corporal, I believe if their salary is 1,300 or 1,500 monthly, RM1,500 Malaysia ya, Bapak Budi ya. Kalilah dengan 12 bulan dan berapa tahun dia punya service tenure. Itu kita we don't see on their salary only, their wages, Bapak ya. We also need to see on their logistics, their uniform, their service, like what I said just now in my 7 HR, right? 7 human resource basics. Their learning, we take care of them. I believe every year government spend more than 10 million a year on learning and development. 10 juta. I disagree if the cost is 1 million. I think not enough. 1 million, Bapak Udi, what you can do, right? In terms of operational and non-operational, that's on reserve force. Because when you talk about reserve force, it must cover on the three service: Army, Navy, and Air Force. Then only our kesiapsiagaan will be always prepared. I believe the armed forces is like an oxygen lah. Right? You cannot see, but if the if the oxygen O2 insufficient, Bapak Budi, you're having problem lah. That's what COVID-19 now, right? Most of people die because why? Less oxygen. And that's my analogy lah. Apa ya? Bisa ya, bisa?
Ya, ya.
Yeah.
Laskar Wataniah.
Askar Wataniah.
Askar Wataniah, how important?
How
The last
important?
question, yeah.
Oh, Askar Wataniah, yes. As in the defense white paper, Askar Wataniah is also one of the vital elements. Because why? Is also is a part of the think tanker. Why I say it's very important? For example, I took my Navy service. When we having problem on the piracy at the Andaman Sea, we having problem with this pirate of Somalia, Bapak Budi, we put our Navy, Pascal, or maybe in your TNI, Kopassus, camouflage, join our merchant ship, which belong to MIC, Malaysia International Shipping Corporation. One incident, I remember. When the pirate of Somalia, they alongside the merchant ship, they were caught. Why? They thought it was a civilian ship. But yes, it's a civilian ship, but they are unfortunate that merchant ship already escorted by my special unit, Pascal, pasukan khas laut. And then from that on, they already afraid of our merchant ship. That's how important the volunteer forces. That's one of the example lah. Yeah, Pak Budi. Do I answer your question, Pak?
Okay,
Did
I am
answer?
ensure that yes, Askar Wataniah is a civil servant that consists of three army
Askar
corps.
Wataniah is
Navy.
for the army itself. For the army, we call Askar Wataniah or territory army. In the terms, territory army.
Okay, that's different with unit.
Yeah.
Real army.
Territory army, but that is specific for the army services. For the Navy, we call it Navy Reserve and Air Force Reserve. These three citizens, they can be called up anytime if we having insurgency or what. But because of the peace war time, most of them being called up only as they back up on the police enforcement, like what this morning by Dr. Nisan. And we having a shortage. We call up a few of our territory army to back up the patrol. That's all.
Terima kasih, Sir.
Yeah.
Is that all, Pak Budiawan? Is that all?
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you.
Beres. Thank you.
Okay. So the Askar Wataniah itself is has the job of the Askar Wataniah itself
Wataniah, yes.
now, or just waiting until something critical happen in the country?
No, they are on a current job, Dr. Christine. For example, I take one of the good example. Most of our graduates who join study in our public university, they join, we call it ROTU, Reserve Officer Training Units. When they will commission as a one PIP as a Lieutenant Muda, in your place you call it Letda. Ibu ya, Letda.
Okay.
They commission as a Letda. And then it's up to them when they can service active or inactive. If service active, they can join their interest to join uh, full service as a regular. If they decline, they can do it as a part-time. They will report to the reserve nearest unit. For example, in Kuala Lumpur, we have one in Mindef there. And they treat it as a weekend job. Weekend job, Ibu. I mean, it's a part-time.
Okay, yeah.
Some
Thank you
of
very
them,
much.
some of them engineer, some of them they're high profile. Some of them with doctors, they're willing to join the medical corps.
Okay.
Yes, sir. You yes.
Okay, thank you
Right.
very much,
Thank you.
Nick. Let's go next to Riri from Defense Management. Riri, your question, please.
Excuse me.
Hmm?
Uh, excuse me.
Yes,
Yes.
Miss Riri. Proceed.
Okay. Thanks you for chance. My name is Riri Andani. I'm from Defense Management Study Program. My question: what is strategy for mobilizing human resources in the event of a war emergency in Malaysia, including the logistic system? Please explain, sir. Thank you, sir.
Oh, my question: what is the
Strategy.
for mobilizing human resource in the event of a war emergency in Malaysia? I believe Malaysia strategy is we always uh, cater our servicemen, whether Army, Navy, and Air Force, with full-time training. That's why, although in this pandemic season now, our armed forces, Army, Navy, and Air Force keep doing their job. For example, I take example my Navy service. We have our ops benting. We keep our ship capable, which sailing 24 hours. Even in the Ramadan, in the first day Shawwal, and strategy of mobilizing human resource in the event of war. We don't wait for emergency, Miss Riri. We always in the Malay said siap siaga. That's why I believe when I joined the armed forces last time, there's no holiday when you serve as a serviceman. Your 24 hours belong to the country. This is the policy and the X factor I always share with my student. You want to join your army man? Yes, please so. But you belong to the country. You are not belong to your family. I believe with this spirit, strategy for mobilizing human resource in the event of war, Malaysia is every day. Including the logistics system, yes, we make sure our logistics are at a very good level. For example, my Royal Malaysian Navy ships, at each period, we send our ship to husbandry. Or in other ways, what I can share? Docking. Dr. Christine, yeah? Docking, yeah? When our ship problem, we send to dock. That's why we said, ship is like a wife. You must treat her very well, You treat her very well, the ship will take care of you. The ship will defend your sea, your mother sea. Because ship, when they go back, they go to the mother sea. They don't go to the father sea. There's no term father sea. Yeah, Dr. Christine, yeah. I like you when I saw, wow, Dr. Christine, the Navy officer, oh, good. So we have the same level terms. Okay, Miss Riri. I mean, logistics in the armed forces, I believe, superb. I believe also same to your TNI Askar Laut. I saw you just bought, I think, 6 frigate, Dr. Christine, yeah? I saw last month article, if I'm not mistaken, your TNI Askar Laut, they bought, wait, I think I got the articles, wait, where is this? You order 6 frigates from Fincantieri, from Rome, Italy, Dr. Christine?
Yes.
Yeah. You know why? Since I've been the academician, I always compare the defense technology, between two countries. Not to say we are racing, no, but and what Miss Riri said lah, we have to be above par already, right, Ibu ya?
Yeah. Riri, is it answer?
Miss Riri, do I answer your question? Do I answer your problem statement?
Riri?
Thank you, sir. Very clear.
Welcome. Yeah, thank you.
Okay, well, actually, for the first session, we need one more question from your side. I mean, from the UPNM.
UPNM, yeah.
If you have, or if you still prepare for it, so I think we have to go to the next session by putting Indonesian student.
Yeah.
It's,
Lily.
but I'm waiting for the question from your side. Okay.
Never mind. we go for by the floor. Those who can answer question, you shoot first. Don't wait.
Okay. Thank you. Okay, now Kuliah from Defense Management, please.
Oh, Defense Management, yeah.
Okay, thank you for this opportunity. My name is Kuliah Pratiwi from Defense Management Study Program.
Yeah.
I have questions for this topic.
Yes, Putri.
Yes. To realize a strong national defense, one of them must be supported by human resources. And it was mentioned before about Malaysia has the volunteer forces are made up of civilians. And the volunteer forces is a conducive platform to inculcate patriotism among the youth. My question is, how does the Malaysian government encourage young people to join the volunteer forces, and what strategy has the Malaysian government taken to foster the spirit of defending the country and a sense of nationalism for its citizens? Thank you, sir.
What a spiritual question.
Yeah,
Putri Uli, yeah. Okay, the volunteer forces are made up of civilians.
To encourage young people.
Yeah, to encourage, yeah. I believe government of Malaysia, we how to say, we cultivate awareness from the secondary school, because when I was in the Navy, I was a desk officer of this cadet, the Malay called Pasukan Cadet Bersatu Malaysia Laut, or we can call it your sekolah menengah, Uli, pesantren, right? Your pesantren?
SMA.
SMR. At our secondary school, we have our cadet army or cadet navy, which from there we cultivate the spirits of them to be disciplined. Which, as what I said, human capital we nurture from their age 13 years old. 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 5 years, they join as the cadet army or cadet navy or cadet air force. And also we introduce, like my daughter, she joined cadet police cadet. Where we train them, they go for drill, they go for camping, they learn about the basic elements of these volunteer forces. I believe if you nurture from the child, the elements of interest will come later. And then that's why some of them, when they finish their MCE, SPM, Malaysia Civic Education, some of them eager to join the armed forces. For example, from my youngsters, the age 18, they join my National Defence University, NDUM, and in the cadet wings. Where these schemes is really adamant by all the parents, you see. Government using the, how to say, not to say using the black magic, no. Dr. Christine, not black magic. Psychologically, attract the youngsters, join the armed forces through the academic world. This, I believe, the government Malaysia promote silently. What I believe, When they join as a cadet wing, if you're my cadets in UPNM, foundation 1 year, degree 3 years for management study or computer science. If engineering, 4 years. 5 years, they commission as a second lieutenant, Letda. And they can join my medical doctor, they join the medical corps. This is how Malaysia silently, promote the interest without any prejudice, where we believe whether all races, Malay, Chinese, or Indian, like my good friend, Datuk Nixon, he's an Indian, he's very successful, two-star, Major General. Dr. Christine, he's one of the good example. He left a Major General. Mejan. Okay, Putri, did I answer your question?
Yes, thank you for the answer.
Yeah, thank you.
Okay, thank you very much. While waiting for the other question from students, I think, sir, can I ask you, maybe you have, how do you, is it, asking about the recruitment
yes,
for reserve and the Tentara Diraja. So do you distinguish between them? Or the same recruitment, there is no difference between them? The recruitment.
You mean, belong to the corps or belong to the service?
When you are doing the recruitment.
Yes, okay.
When you're doing the recruitment, because it is different, between the reserve and the real Tentara Diraja Malaysia.
The regular
one. Do you make something? I think the activity is the same, or just, or maybe you distinguish between them.
All right. Two basic things. When we select them, first, they must be medical fit. And then they must be medically fit. FE, fit everywhere.
Okay. Fit.
FE, FE.
Okay.
Medical term.
For both of them, for Tentara Diraja Malaysia and reserve.
Yes. Because why, doctor? We cannot recruit any handicap to join the service, right? Not to say I'm insult their nature, no, but there's a facts. That's why when you want to join reservists, even if you barefoot or flat foot, your flat foot also be rejected. Maybe under medical reason. For example, you go for medical selection, if you blind color, reject.
Okay.
Right? And for sure, the limit age of joint reservists, 45 years old, that's a shilling. After that, you can rest as a full civilian.
Okay. Thank you, sir. Now,
yes.
Okay. Now we have a question from Air Force Marshal Bapak Anton Santosa, Vice Dean of Faculty of Defense Management. Pak Anton, time is yours.
Yes, Bapak Dekan, sir.
Thank you, Colonel Christine. Thank you, Speaker. Lieutenant Commander Nick Ismail Rashid, thank you for your presentation.
Sir.
Yeah, I know that Malaysia have as the National Security Council, that's right?
Yeah. MKN.
Okay.
Kementerian Negara.
Yeah. So my question is, can you explain the mechanism among National Security Council, Ministry of Defense, and also your Parliament to achieve the decision or the direction to give the order the Tentara Diraja Malaysia or Malaysia Armed Forces in involving military operation on war or military operation other than war, such as you said mentioned in your presentations, escorted the merchant ships to Somalia Straits. The mechanism, sir. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Pak. Okay, I believe there's a coordination between MKN, Majlis Keselamatan Negara, because the MKN is headed by one civilian man, Director DG, I forgot his name. And then MINDEF, we have two boss there, our Chief Secretary General and our Chief of Defence Forces. And yet, both these two parties answerable to our Ministry of Defence. Is our now our current Minhan, Datuk Ismail Sabri. And Government of Malaysia, as you know, sir, the highest command rank of executive power is Prime Minister. I mean, the final say must come from Prime Minister. I believe when it comes to the Motwa strategies, we have our so-called our coordination between these three parties. And whatever been discussed will must bring to the, I believe, to the Cabinet's committee, Jawatan Kuasa Cabinet. I think that's the highest council, what I can share in our platform now.
That means the end of the decisions not in your parliament.
No, it's a Jawatan Kuasa Cabinet.
Okay.
Which they're meeting every Wednesday. I believe that's the highest executive power.
Okay.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you, Pak.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Yes. I saw Dr. Christine, there's one question from my student.
Yeah. Yes.
Fong XJ.
Yeah. Okay, can I ask Fong to read your question, please?
Good afternoon, sir. I am Officer Cadet from, and I take Strategic Studies. I have some questions. First, I want to ask, how does the armed force manage the human resource and financial to ensure maximum efficiency during this critical pandemic time? Because human resource and financial are in need, especially during this pandemic. And my second question is, how does the armed force help in increasing the speed to vaccinate the people? And also how does we can help in encourage the people to be vaccinated, as some people, they do not want to take vaccine and they are anti-vaccine. Thank you, sir.
All right, thank you, my cadets officer Fong. Yeah, my girls. Okay, how does the armed forces manage the human resource and financial to ensure maximum efficiency during the critical pandemic time? Okay, I believe every dollar and cents that government Malaysia expending is came from the taxpayer, right? On what all the expenditure they spend, they must to be balanced. I believe, although return of investment not being calculated or being prioritized in the armed forces, we will use the maximum of capability and to assist the Ministry of Health when we assist them when we lay out the field hospital in Kepala Batas, in KL, Stadium Titi Wangsa. Even we now open our Hat Mizan in Kuala Lumpur, and we also open one in our Battle Hospital in Labuan. Right, those human resource and financial I think armed forces is helping to save government money. Yeah, we can see from there, right? And because our frontliner, our doctors, our nurses, they've been already, we don't blame them. They've been working hard since last year, 18 March 2020. And yet until now, the pandemic still not over. So you see there, Fong, when the armed forces join in or walk in, they're really crucial. So you see, these armed forces until now, we can say we are the insurance of the people, and whether it belongs to our neighbor Indonesia and also Indonesia. Okay, and yet then the question how to encourage more people to get vaccine. This when we using our psychology counselor to use. This we call it some. There we what I said just now to Dr. Christine. Some of our reservists, Dr. Christine, in the medical corps, we utilize them. Some of them are doctors, nurse. When they join reserve, they belong to the Corps Kesihatan Diraja, where they can play their vital part. And then we can encourage them. Okay? Okay, Fong? Do I answer your answer? Do I answer your question?
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
I don't see more question in the chat box. Maybe student here in front of me have more question. I have some students here.
Yes.
Anyone?
Tia Norma.
We still have time until 15:20. Tian, you have a question?
Yeah, Tian. Yeah. Yes.
Hello, excuse me, sir.
Yes, Miss Tian.
Yeah. Okay, thank you for this opportunity. Good afternoon, sir. My name is Tian Hatsari.
Yeah,
I'm from Defense Economic Study Program.
Yeah.
Actually, I have only one question, but before I ask the question, actually I read Malaysia Defense White Paper, and I found that about CEMA or Cyber Electromagnetic Activities. And I found that there are three kinds of non-CEMA. There are military kinetic detection or hard skill, and second one is other information operation, and the last is intelligence. And my question is, maybe you can explain more about military kinetic detection or hard skill, because when we read military kinetic detection, correlation with non-CEMA is like hard skill and soft skill. I think that's all, sir. Thank you.
What military kinetic detection?
Yeah, military kinetic
detection.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, I don't dare to give my opinion because when you refer on defense white paper, this consists of their expertise on military kinetic detection hard kill. I think maybe you can keep your question. Maybe I think on the third day or fourth day, one of my colleagues, Dr. Shima, she's expert. She's expert in this. I don't want to answer the question. I afraid maybe it will give you bad answers or inaccurate.
Okay, so Dr. Shima will teach us at Thursday, actually.
Yes,
at,
yes.
Defense Economic Department.
Yes, Defense Economic. Yes, yes. You better for me not to answer.
Thank you very much. It's okay. Thank you very much for the question, also for the answer. And do we have some more questions?
Yes, yes.
If not, okay, I don't think we have some more questions. Okay, if not, I think we have to go to the next session. Thank you very much for the question and answer and your answer for the students. I think we have to give you also applause, big applause.
Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you.
Now we are going to the next session will be okay, this one will be summary. Come up to the summary, and the summary for your presentation will be the human resources are the people that in one capacity or another work for contribute to an organization as a company's workforce, even human or non-human. You said also robot is also a workforce, yeah?
Yeah, workforce,
so seven elements are considered cornerstones for effective human resources management. Policies are recruitment and selection, performance management, learning and development, succession planning, compensation and benefits, human resources information system, HR data and analytics. And those are enable a workforce for not only to perform better, but to perform as its very best. For the
Yes.
military, it is implied in the military operation other than war. Proficiency in military other than war requires a much greater and different set skill than traditional war fighting, for raise their capability not only as a war fighters, but also as peacekeepers, goodwill ambassadors, and winner of the heart and mind. The process of educating and preparing a professional force capable of handling a wide spectrum of operation under military other than war requires a new strategy, and military other than war driven by political objective at every level from strategic to tactical. Military operation other than war contributes to attainment of natural security objective by supporting deterrence, forward presence, and crisis response option. Military other than war applied in humanitarian assistance and disaster relief, either in multinational or single country. Okay, thank you. That's the summary from me. And finally, we are at the final of the meeting. I would like to send a big gratitude to the speaker, Lieutenant Commander Rashid, for the wonderful presentation and material.
Thank you,
I really hope that we are able to meet again next time in better time, better condition, and also thank you for all participants for joining today's seminar. I do believe this discussion giving all of us deeper insight for us. Thank you very much. Terima kasih. Semoga selalu sehat. Bapak, wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Shalom, santi santi om, nama budaya, salam kebajikan. Have a nice day. Then I will take over the forum to the MC. Thank you again, Pak Nick.
Thank you, Ibu. Thank you.
MC, please.
Thank you for the moderator who guided the session well. Let us give a big round of applause to the moderator. To the moderator, you may be seated. To express our appreciation upon the speaker and moderator, the Defense Management Faculty is going to award certificate to the speaker and moderator. Vice Dean of Defense Management Faculty, First Marshal Anton Iman Santosa, will award the certificate.
Okay, thank you again to the speaker, Lieutenant Commander Nick Ismail Rashid, for your excellent presentation and also your answer during the question and answer sessions.
Yes, sir.
And also thank you very much for to the Colonel Christine for moderating these sessions. On behalf of the Faculty of Defense Management, National Defense University of Indonesia, we'd like to award the certificate of appreciation to the speaker and moderator. First, certificate awarded to the speaker, Lieutenant Commander Nick Ismail Rashid. Please accept our certificate and give applause to the Lieutenant Commander Nick Ismail Rashid.
Thank you, sir.
Second certificate is awarded to moderator, Colonel Navy retired Dr. Christine C. Marnani. Please accept our certificate, ma'am.
Thank you very much, sir.
The Colonel Dr. Christine. Again, thank you for the speaker, moderator, and all participants to joining the session. And that's all for the session. See you tomorrow. Thank you. Good afternoon. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Pak Nick, thank you very much, Pak
Nick. Yes, Ibu. Thank you, Ibu.
Hope one day we can meet here in Jakarta.
Hopefully.
Because you are an athlete.
Yes,
Maybe we still have time. Okay.
Yes,
Thank you very much.
All right. Thank you. Us.
Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, let's all together we will take a picture. Take the right hand of the chest and say Bela Negara. Follow me. 1, 2, 3. Salam Bela Negara.
Salam Bela Negara.
Salam Bela Negara.
Once more. Salam Bela Negara.
Salam Bela Negara.
Negara.
Thank you.
Thank Thank you. Us.
Once again, we would like to convey our appreciation to the speaker that has shared his thought and experience to all of us. May all the knowledge we have gained be useful for our nation. Distinguished participants, all the agenda of this program session 2 today with topic Human Resource Management for Defense Practice. Thank you for the time and attention given during this session. Thank you for our participants who have been actively participant during the session. On behalf of the organizer, we would like to apologize for a mistake during the session. We want to remind our participants that the next agenda for tomorrow, 23 June 2021, will begin at 9 o'clock. We do hope our participants to join 5 minutes before the session. We would also like to remind all of to always implement our protocol by washing our hands, wearing our mask, and minding our distance. Let us close this session by saying Hamdalah. Alhamdulillahirabbil alamin.
Alhamdulillah alamin. Syukur.
Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Amin, amin.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Good afternoon.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Okay. Wajah sah, us.
The recording has stopped.